Hello. So today we're going to cover division, and we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the things we did in class today, such as dividing, with tens, hundreds, thousands, anything with a lot of zeros. So I'll just do a quick example because it really is fairly easy. We'll have our skill check tomorrow. Let's do a couple of examples. Let's start with 6, and we'll do a few different ways so you can kind of see how it could look. Let's come down a little bit with that. You can see different ways that this is going to look. So this is a traditional long division that you would see, and essentially, you would just go down using your place values. You know that 6 can't go into 4. Then you would put these two together, the 4 and the 8, and then you can say 6 goes into 48 8 times. Put your multiplication, so we know that 8 times 6 is 48. Then we subtract. We have 0, we bring down the 0. And 6 goes into 0, 0 times. 0 times 6 is 0. We subtract. And we're left with nothing, so we've come to our quotient, which is 80. Okay? Pretty easy. Now, what if we start adding a bunch of zeros? How's that going to look? Well, let's take a look. Let's try 21,000 divided by 30. And we're going to write it kind of equation style, kind of like a number sentence. And what I told the students is, first we can get rid of shareable zeros, so zeros that are equal on both sides. We have 1 0 here, so we can lose 1 0 here. And then we can look for some easy multiplication facts that we already know. So essentially we have 3 left here, and we're going to use 21 because I know that 3 and 21 are related facts. 3 times blank equals 21. I know that, which would be the same as blank times 3 equals 21, which if I do the inverse operation is going to be 21 divided by blank equals 3, and 21 divided by 3 equals blank. So really I just have to fill in that blank, and it's one number. And I know if I go all the way to the back, I know my multiplication facts because I'm a super student, so I know that 3 times 7 is 21, which means that 7 times 3 is 21, which means that 21 divided by 7 is 3, which means that 21 divided by 3 is 7. So now where does that leave me with my original problem is that I need to answer that. 21 divided by 3 is 7. And then I count any trailing or remaining zeros that I have left. And in this instance I have 2 remaining zeros, so I'm going to add my 2 zeros. So 21,000 divided by 30 is 700. Now you would think we're done there, but actually we're not. We're going to multiply to check. So let's take 700, multiply that bad boy by 30, and we should end up with 21,000. That would mean we're correct. Same thing when I'm working with zeros. I've taught the students that we can look at the multiplication of the actual digits we have, which is 7 and 3. It's 21. Then we can count 3 zeros. And that gives me 21,000, which is exactly right, which means I got it correct. So we'll be looking to do that practice this week, as well as something similar on the test for Friday. And real quick, just to give you a preview of what we're going to be doing tomorrow, is going to be kind of rounding. Instead of zeros, we're going to have numbers that we're going to have to round. I'll give you an example. Let's do 1,043 divided by 23. And the key to rounding whenever we're going to be rounding numbers like this for division is we round to the highest place value. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. That's the highest place value here. Here we have ones and tens, so that's the highest place value there. And as we know from rounding, we're going to have to go next door to, this is a number that will tell us what to do. 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, you know the drill. So since this is 4 or less, we let it rest and everything else becomes 0. So this 1043 becomes 1000. And we're going to go to the 2, look over at the 3, 4 less, we said let it rest. So this becomes a 0, so that becomes 20. 1,000 divided by 20. Now the same process we did earlier, that's why we're building on this scale, is we can get rid of equal zeros on both sides, and we're left with 2 and 10. Now don't get tricky and try to do the 1, because we know that you can't divide 1 by 2. But we can divide 10 by 2, and that gives us, drum roll please, 5. And then we look for our trailing zeros, which in this case we have 1. Right? But we're not done yet. We have to check our work. So let's multiply 50 times 20 and see if we get 1,000. 5 times 2 is 10. We have 2 zeros, comma. That's it, 1,000. We are good to go. All right. So I'll give you one to solve. Pause the video, solve this one. You just put it in the comments below or come tell me tomorrow. Let's do 2,740, and we'll divide that by 62. Who knows what that is? Good luck. See you tomorrow.